2018 has been a great year for movies. My personal favourites include Black Panther and A Quiet Place. Unfortunately, I also have had the misfortune of watching some horrible movies. So this is it, my 5 worst movies of 2018. Now, before I go into the topic of the video, I would like to talk about how I actually rate these movies in the first place. Now, I have 2 ways on how I actually evaluate a certain movie. First, we have the story, and the second, we have the entertainment value. So, in the story, it encompasses the themes, the plot points, the questions being asked. You got the characters moving the story forward, and you got the dialogue that actually conveys the story as well. So all of this come together to bring about a good story. Let's say Captain America Civil War. Now the story at first is about a political conflict, but then it evolves, or better yet, devolves into a personal conflict, and that makes an engaging story. It makes the story interesting. Alright, so what about entertainment value? Now, for me at least, the entertainment value comes from the technical aspects of a movie. Not to say that a story is not entertaining, but what I'm trying to say here is that the technical aspects are what really elevates the story into a more cinematic experience. A prime example of this would be Blade Runner 2049. You've got a really complex story in the movie, but it is elevated through use of masterful cinematography, a great score, and it really makes for a great cinematic experience. So the movies in this list either lack a good story, they lack a good entertainment value, or they lack both of these altogether. Now, do bear in mind that this will be a short video because I actually can't remember a lot about these bad movies. They are bad, so they are forgettable. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. First up, we have Insidious Last Key. Now, the movie lacks a certain emotional weight to it. There is nothing that ties the audience with the movie. Yes, we do have an interesting main character, but she does her things in her own way, in her own time, and there's just not enough for us to get drawn into the movie with her. The movie also showcases some horrible side characters, and truthfully, if they die, they make the movie more interesting. I really don't care about them. They serve no purpose at all, except for maybe some comedic scenes, but that's pretty much it. They don't serve anything to the entirety of the plot. They don't change at all. I mean, they stay stupid as they are. Apart from that, there isn't really much scare to this movie at all. There is actually one really good scary scene where the tension actually really builds up to the point that you actually feel like pissing. But that's pretty much it. That's the only scary moment of the movie, and the movie just fails as a good story and a good horror story. Next up, we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, I was really disappointed in this movie. When I was watching it, I was thinking, haven't I seen this before? And in fact, I have, in the previous movie, and in fact, in Jurassic Park 2. So this movie is just a copy-paste of those past movies. There isn't really much creative effort in this movie. Everything we see in this movie are things that we have seen. All the action in the movie as well are just for the sake of action. This is an action movie, so they have to force action in the movie sometime, but the action actually does nothing to the plot. The action just came about for the sake of action, so it really isn't that engaging. Apart from that, we have some awful side characters, basic cardboard cutouts of, let's say, the typical rough hunter, the typical nerd. All of that brings about a boring cast of side characters that you don't feel engaged enough. One thing that bugged me out throughout the whole movie is the forced ethical issue that came about. So you got this ethical question early in the movie. It pops a bit here and there in the middle, and it just solves itself in the ending, which makes it really messy, and that pretty much sums up the movie. It is a messy movie. The third movie in this list, probably my most hated movie in this list, is Munafik 2. Now, Munafik 2 is... I have no idea what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually loved the first 5 minutes of the movie. It really was good. But then everything after that really falters. It really became a whole pile of crap. And I think it boils down to one main issue. And that issue is that it tries too hard to be the first Munafik. Now, because it tries too hard to become the first Munafik, three other things came about. The forced personal issue, the forced plot twist, and the awful character decisions. Now, I'm not going to go in depth of all these three main issues. I'm just going to say that Munafik 1 works because it is not a horror story. It is actually a story of how a husband copes with the loss of his wife. And that works. It makes for a good personal story with horror actually going on. But Munafik 2 tries to be like that, but just doesn't work. You've got the personal struggle and the struggle with Abuja, and it does not work in tandem throughout the whole movie. It makes for a big mess. Atop that, with the awful plot twist and the horrible character decisions, really, they were so stupid. Some of them are unjustifiable. It was just ridiculous. Really, it brings about a really, really shitty movie. I'm really surprised that when I came out of the cinema and I asked my friends what they think of it, they actually said it was okay, it was good. And I was like, dude, are you possessed or something? It was bad. Really, it was. I was about to laugh in the cinema. It was so ridiculous. Next up, we have Johnny English Strikes Again. Now, Johnny English Strikes Again is just one of those movies that, they're meant to be funny and they're meant to be stupid. They are meant to be stupid. But the problem with Johnny English Strikes Again is just that it wasn't funny and it was just too stupid. With cliche side characters, a predictable plot, and the stupidity of Rowan Atkinson's character, it is not really a shitty movie, but it really wasn't a good movie, so that's why it is still in this list anyway. Next up, we have Venom. Now, Venom is a movie that I really had my hopes up. I was really excited going into the movie, but everything from the beginning to the end is really crap. It really is just crap. There is barely anything good in the movie. You've got a boring first act, which was just set up of, I have no idea, it doesn't set up anything. You have the second act, where Venom was finally introduced, and I thought finally it's gonna be good. But it remains crap. The relationship between Eddie and Venom was actually probably the most interesting thing in the movie, but I did not realize how bad they played that way. Their first argument with each other really sets up real tension for the movie, but the tension wasn't played out. It became a stupid movie. You see, my biggest problem with the movie is the character Venom itself. I have no idea what it is. So, Venom has motivations. I'll just say he because he sounds like a guy, so I'll stay with he. So he has motivations. And at first, when he was first introduced to Eddie, he clearly states what he wants to do. But he doesn't do it. Why? Because he just listens to Eddie for no reason. He has full control of the body, but he doesn't do anything. So that really made me shake my head. I did not know why Venom decided to be like that. I did not know why the director decided to let Venom be like that. And it really disappointed me on how awful every single character in this movie really is, and forever will be. So that's the end of the video. What do you think of this video? Do leave your thoughts in the comments below. Think you know someone that will like this video? Do share it. Think you know someone that will hate this video? Do share it as well. That is all for me. Thank you again for watching this video. Bye bye.